What's up? It's me, Don Tolliver. If I could describe the Bose Ultra Open earbuds, I think I would describe it as very seamless. It can definitely be something that you can style. It's like earring candy. Check out Bose.com for more.
Is your cold making it hard for you to get to sleep and leading to a bad morning? Switch to Mucinex Night Shift for fast, powerful nighttime multi-symptom cold and flu relief. Mucinex Night Shift fights your worst nighttime symptoms to help you get to sleep and wake up ready to go. Mucinex Night Shift. It's comeback season. Use as directed.
We are back with another episode of the OC. This is the third of the final 3 episodes. This is episode 14 from season 4, the Shake It Up. Shake It Up.
See, you went that way. I went Selena Gomez, shake it up, shake it up, shake it up.
But you know, the funny thing about this is that so many of the episodes in the past, we've talked about how the name means like 3 or 4 things.
Yeah.
And this one, the name seems like it's just referring to what we're going to see next week. We get this we get this earthquake intro, then a flashback, and then we end where that earthquake started at the start of the episode. And I'm like, well, clearly this is building to what next week's episode is going to be about, which just makes the naming either too on the nose and meta because they're really shaking up the story just before we get to the final episode. It's a very weird one. I did not have nearly as many notes this time as I did last time because I think that this was a pretty bad episode.
Yes, because here's the thing. Matt, are you familiar with the theatrical concept of the Deus Ex Machina?
So, yes. And
Okay.
I have a reference to explain this to people very easily. Have you ever watched the lovely Christmas cartoon Olive the Other Reindeer?
No.
So the concept of Oliver the Other Reindeer is that it's about a dog named Olive. The main villain in this whole series is an angry postman who's sick of delivering mail to the North Pole all year round for Santa Claus. And he kidnaps Olive, and they're trapped in the back of the police van, and then they pull up a package, and it's for Olive the Other Reindeer, and they open it, and it's a nail file so that they can get out of the back of the truck. And he goes, that was really convenient. Who sent that to you? And she says, it just says it was from Deus Ex Machina. So it's the act of God. It's the unexplained moment that forces the story forward, basically.
Yes, it comes from the ancient Greek theater where they would literally it was God from Deus Ex Machina means God from the machine, and it would literally be like a mechanical mechanism that would come down and put one of the gods into the series and then be like, just kidding.
Yeah.
Where, and so this is also akin to like, it's so interesting that we're getting both a Deus Ex Machina and Jumping the Shark
all at
at
once.
the same time.
I
was like, Jumping the Shark, the third to the last episode.
Joe, homeboy, I love you. This shit has jumped the shark way before we've gotten to the shake-up.
No, but like
most
in
of
this
season
moment where
3
it's like,
was the shark jumping moments for me, but
part of me is like, they could have done this as like, if they were doing one more season, they could have done this as a series finale or a season finale for ahead of one more season. But
yeah.
I got to tell you, it's just so fascinating. Because everything in the next episode is just dealing with the aftermath of the earthquake.
And then we have the finale.
Yeah.
I'm so curious to see where this goes. I'm gonna just quickly read my notes, and then we'll jump into any key things that we want to talk about. I wrote, man, Taylor is wildly unhinged. She wants to step down from an Ivy League school to slum it with Ryan at Berkeley.
First of all, sorry, as a UC graduate, I will not say slumming. Berkeley is a really good school.
But we're talking
But it's
valedictorian
not,
Ivy League, like
it's not the Ivy League. Yes, all of the ones that she applied, she's like, I applied to Harvard, Princeton, Yale, the Sorbonne, and Berkeley. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Technically, yes, the state school, but it is still a very good school.
Yes. I said, man, I hate the six-pack. I always find it wild that I find it wild that one of these girls apparently went to Harvard. Then I wrote, Caitlin continues to be the absolute worst, and I feel like this far into the end of a show, she should be a better person by now. I wrote, oh, yay, douchey Seth is here. What fun. I said, man, things really could have...
I know how much you love douchey Seth.
Boy, do I. I said, man, things really could have just ended last week. This is just wheels spinning in the mud right now. And I said, I feel like when we record the final episode, I'm going to wonder why we needed these episodes after episode 12, Groundhog Day. So obviously not into any of this at the time that I'm writing it. All of those are snarky and unhinged. But let's talk about the six-pack, because that plot line bothered me the most, I think, which is like this weird storyline where Kirsten is having second thoughts about having a baby because all the girls in Newport Beach are douchey.
Yeah.
And like Sandy Cohen, like rightfully is just like, have you just not been paying attention like the last 40 years that you've lived in Newport Beach? Like this is always
she's sober now. She's sober now, Matt.
Yeah. Like this is just like, I was like, this is an annoying storyline. These characters are annoying. Like, and I know girls like that too. Like there are definitely those girls that are just like, oh no, I'm not going to show any baby weight. I want the credit of having a baby with none of the physical punishment that my body's going to go through in doing so. This reminds me very much of when like Summer went on like that luncheon with all of the already married teenagers from Newport Beach a couple weeks ago too, where you're just like, all these people suck. This whole place sucks.
Yeah.
Which is so weird because it was like, it's almost like the show started off with Seth hates the OC, and that was like the conceit of the show was like, yeah, man, the OC sucks. Then it felt like for 2 seasons, it was like, this place is great. Look at all these parties. Everybody's happy. Everything's doing great. Now we're right back to the like, fuck this place storyline as we like wrap it all up, which I can only assume. Here's my big prediction. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming a lot of people are moving out of Newport Beach in the next 2 episodes, and that this is just building in the storyline of like, why should we? This is a great reason to leave. All these people are terrible. They don't provide anything for us. Like, our house has been destroyed in an earthquake. Might as well move to
let's run away.
Like, it's like, just, it's so annoying. It's so just fucking stupid. And like, I don't even remember what half the stuff was when I wrote like Caitlin is the absolute worst. I think she's this is because she's like not leaving Frank alone. She's like hiding clown porn in his property and like just being an all-around brat, which like, again, you are 15. Like I know like you are too goddamn old to be acting like this, especially because like I feel like 15, 16 is about the age where you are like, whatever you want to do, I don't care. I'm out of here in 2 to 3 years. Like,
yeah.
Like why do you care so much about who your mom marries? Especially since you dunk on your mom so much for marrying without love and like going with like that's all her character has been for years is like,
you've literally called her like, basically called her a fucking like gold digger to her face.
Yeah, and now she's finally like about to settle down with someone that she actually likes, and you're like, no, I've got to ruin this because I want it to be the bullet for reasons that don't make sense. Like, it's just, that's so frustrating. I don't remember why I wrote douchey Seth is here though. What fuckery does Seth get into in this episode that I'm forgetting now? I literally watched it yesterday.
This is the movie.
Oh, that's right. Summer wants him to prove that he's like motivated for something, and he just sets up a camera and films the pool for 6 hours and tries to claim it as an art piece.
Yeah.
God, he sucks.
But, I mean, it's also interesting because, like, yeah, he doesn't really have much going on, and I can understand, like, but, like, let's also not pretend, Summer, like, let's not pretend that the only reason why you want him to have something is because you have something, and it'll make you feel better knowing that he's not just going to be pining for you. Like, it's entirely self-serving. Like, and I say this as someone who's done it, like, definitely done this before, but it's not great.
I find it very uniquely interesting because it's like in this moment, it dawns on me that so much of this show has been about Ryan Atwood, and Ryan is like practically an extra to the storylines at this point. Like, things are just happening around Ryan more than Ryan being an active participant in most of the storylines at this point. It's definitely to make another One Tree Hill reference. If you had told me that I forget what the name of the actor is who plays Ryan, but like if you had told me that he had like less days in his contract than everybody else, like this almost feels like the Nathan kidnapping subplot of the last season because he was working less hours than everybody else. They needed a storyline to write him out of episodes for large chunks. Like, he's just there. He doesn't even seem like that unhinged about the Taylor wanting to go to Berkeley thing. Like, he's just kind of mildly like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
But like, he's like asleep at the wheel at this point in the show.
Yeah. Ben McKenzie.
Ben McKenzie. That's what it is.
This episode is brought to you by ServiceNow, the AI platform for business transformation. AI is only as powerful as the platform it's built into. Enter ServiceNow. It puts AI to work for people, for employees, for developers, and even your customers, removing frustration and supercharging productivity. On our intelligent platform, AI isn't just a promise. It's happening today. That's why the world works with ServiceNow. To learn more, visit servicenow.com/AI for people.
This episode is brought to you by National Geographic, presenting its new documentary film, Endurance. Follow the greatest survival story ever told, unpacking the legendary feat of polar explorer Sir Ernest Shackleton, who kept his crew alive for over a year, despite losing their ship in frigid pack ice. Over a century later, a team of modern-day explorers set out to find the sunken ship. Endurance, now streaming on Hulu and Disney+.
Are you a fan of young adult novels?
Have you ever wondered the stories behind the people who wrote your favorite young adult novels?
Then join author Eric J. Brown
and Alyssa Lube of Netflix's The Circle
every other Tuesday on YAOK.
Available on all podcasting apps.
Woo!
Kind of a bummer of an episode. Not the worst episode of the season, but certainly not one of the best. And again, that's how I could describe the song selection for this week's episode. We got 4 songs. We got Block Party, I Still Remember, which kicks off the episode. I Am Jen with Broken in All the Wrong Places when Summer visits Ryan at his work. Damien Jurado with What Were the Chances? This is when Taylor walks into the restaurant and isn't able to even blow out her birthday candles because she's so sad and upset. And then Fredo Villa, Sad Song, which plays at the end of the episode. I went with the What Were the Chances song when Taylor's kind of walking in to the restaurant for her birthday and isn't able to blow out the candles. I was like, that was one of the songs where I looked up the song to listen to it in its entirety because I kind of liked the like slow but kind of intense vibe that the song gave off. How about you, Joe?
California by Phantom Planet. I didn't care. Well, I also didn't care about the episode, right? And so, like, it's one of those, I try really hard to focus during these rewatches, but these last few episodes, because like all I want to do is get to the next 2 episodes.
Okay, so the last 2 episodes you're saying will make up for how the these past 2 weeks have been real rough.
That's a lot. Let's not go there. I'm not even saying it's gonna make up for it. All I'm saying is that like there are good scenes and good moments, and again, this is one of my favorite series finales.
All right. Well, Joe, do you have any favorite pop culture that you've been experiencing in the last week or so?
So one thing that I have been kind of in the middle of is like this like I really enjoy I think I'm one of the few millennials that really enjoys like network TV procedurals still.
Possibly, yeah.
So I've been like I'm gonna do a twofer. I've been watching the new these new series, one on ABC and one on CBS/Paramount Plus. I've been watching High Potential and Matlock.
Okay. High Potential I've heard good things about, honestly.
Yeah, I'm just like, there's so many shows that are already like there's so many shows that are already like High Potential, like Monk and I think Elsbeth on CBS. Like it's also like an American adaptation of a French TV show.
What is the plot of High Potential? Because I thought it was one thing, and I think someone explained it to me, and it's not. I thought that it was that she can only solve the murder, that she can only solve the cases if she's high. Like she has to get stoned.
No, that would have been great. No, that would be. I would watch that. I'll watch the shit out of that. No, High Potential is basically she is like she's a person who has like a very high IQ, can like notice things, retains information.
So it's psych. It's like female psych.
Like psych and monk, but she doesn't have like she's like psych and monk mixed together, but she's a woman who's kind of, and it's interesting because like she's somebody who's like poor, like a maid. She's working as a maid, but like the main thing about her is that she cannot if she knows that something is out of order, it won't let her sleep. Like she cannot make something, if she knows that something is wrong, she cannot like sleep. And that's like a very minor thing, but like ultimately
it sounds like it's like Monk meets Goodwill Hunting.
Kind of a little bit. Actually, yeah, kind of. So, but the interesting part of it, like the kind of in the episodic structure of the show, is that she has 3 kids. Her oldest child is from her first husband, and her first husband like went out for diapers and disappeared. Right, like he disappeared, never to be heard from again. And her daughter grew up thinking that he was just his deadbeat dad, but she knew he wasn't, and she can't figure out. So she takes this job working for the LAPD, so that way she can have the LAPD like police captain look into her first husband's disappearance, so that way she can tell her daughter where he was, because the daughter thinks that like, oh, dad abandoned me, and it's like, no, your dad would never have abandoned you. And here's why.
I don't know if you know this, my editing show, like, I think all of us who edit podcasts, you have like stuff that you pay attention to, and then you've got like the shows that are like, all right, this is just going to go on in the background while I'm doing other things, and that's usually for me editing. My background show has been Columbo for the last year.
Wow!
Because it's on Peacock. I think it's on Peacock. So I'm almost done Columbo, and I think when I finish Columbo, I'm going to move into Murder, She Wrote as my editing background. No, so I do love a procedural. I truly do. I mean, Psych is probably one of my 10 favorite shows of all time, as is Monk. Monk is a blast. So I may have to give High Potential a watch because it's grabbed my attention. And now I got to write a show in which people can only solve a murder mystery if they're stoned off their ass.
Matlock is also really great too. There's a big twist that they reveal on the first episode, like a huge twist in the last 5 minutes, because it's a reimagining reboot of like the Matlock lawyer TV show.
Yeah.
But they reference Matlock in it, right? It's like, hi, my name's it's Kathy Bates. Hi, my name is Madeline Matlock. Like the old TV show that aired, la 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 la. And so there's a lot of that, but there's a huge twist at the very end of the first episode. And like, it's so much that like they've done social media advertising where like Kathy Bates is like, don't give away the twist. Don't give away,
oh,
like
they're doing the
protect
psycho
secrets.
move.
Yeah, Psycho, like fucking the Harry Potter Curse of the Golden Child. It's like, don't give away the secrets.
Yeah.
And so like if you do anything, I actually encourage you to watch the first episode of Matlock first before you watch High Potential. Because like I'm actually quite pleased that I'm like, oh, this is how you reboot something.
Love
it takes the spirit of it, but you don't necessarily have to do it exactly the same way.
I'm excited. All right, maybe I will check out Matlock first. Mine's very quick. It's a YA book that I read by Curtis Campbell called Dragging Mason County. And it's about a group of queer kids in a deep South area who decide to shake things up and throw a drag show. I knocked it out over a weekend. It's a delightful little read. It's fun characters. I mean, it does the thing that every YA novel does, which is that the main character is kind of frustratingly selfish and annoying. But I had fun with it. I really do recommend it. It was just an all-around good time. And that's all I got to say on that one.
What was the name of the book again?
Dragging Mason County. There are some phenomenal farm-based drag names throughout that book that put a smile on my face every time they said a new one. So stay tuned for that too, I guess. But that's it. I'm just going to say, read that book. I had a blast with it. Definitely check out the first episode of Matlock and all of High Potential so far, and probably more of Matlock too. But like, if Matlock doesn't entice you on that first episode, why not High Potential, I guess, is the Joe review. And we'll be back with what Joe says are the two best episodes of the OC. They're going to make this entire journey worth it for me. I think he said 5 out of 5 masterpiece. So stay tuned.
I am really concerned that you're going to hate
it. Stay tuned to find out.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.